All right. Finally, the first day we're coming out to not work on the car, but drive. So I got my tags, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop those on real quick, and then we will go for a drive. Maybe go to the car wash. Kind of afraid to wash it though, because my seats were a little wet, so I got some water coming in somewhere, and I'm not sure where. Probably either windowsill or T-top, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Well, I tried to steal the bolts from the 240 to hold the license plate on, but they don't fit. So I guess the first place we're gonna go is Home Depot. Get some bolts to hold the license plate on. I'll see y'all a little bit later. Got some bolts for our license plate. Now we're just gonna go for a little cruise, see what happens here. Doing a little bit of an idle dance, just a little bit. So again, we might have a vacuum leak. We'll have to check it out. The other thing I was wondering about is the way I did the PCV system. I deleted the back parts where the PCV was, and then the front hoses that connect to the intake pipes, I left those there. And a lot of people, when they do the PVC delete, they put breathers on there, and then they block off the ports to the intake pipes. So I'm wondering if I'm getting a vacuum leak because I have that hooked up that way. Because obviously I'm still idling really high too, around 1500. Other than that, the car's running pretty good. It's really stiff, bumpy, lumpy, probably because the suspension is worn out. I did get on the highway earlier and I had a little bit of shake. Again, speedometer doesn't work, but I had a little bit of shake. I'm assuming it was around 60 miles per hour. Probably because of the tires and the rims, especially if it's been sitting for a while, they're probably not balanced right. We're probably going to end up getting this set of 350Z Nismo rims anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that right now until we get the new ones. And then obviously having a bad suspension isn't really helping either, so hopefully we'll be able to get some coilovers here soon. Throttle's still sticking a little bit. I did see the solution about the PCV metal housing off the intake valve cover that jams up the throttle, and I finally understood what they were talking about with that. So we're probably going to check that when we make our next stop here, and see if that's what's binding up our throttle bodies. I cleaned the throttle bodies pretty good with the pressure washer, but I did pressure wash the outside too, so I might have washed all the grease away from the gears and springs. So we might have to go ahead and lube up all of our assembly, our throttle assembly again. It's also very loud. The exhaust sounded good when I first started it up, but now it's obnoxiously loud. There's no way I'd drive around with it this loud. I don't know what it sounds like from the outside, obviously, but inside it's so loud. I feel like it's also, I'm missing some of the rubber gasket around my hatch. And I think that is also making it a little bit louder because I'm getting some volume and air seepage in it by hatch in the back. So that could be making it a little bit louder, but again, it's just, at cruising, it's just obnoxiously loud right now. Car is also really small for me. I feel so huge in this car. It's not like driving my 240. The inside of the 240 seems a lot bigger than this does. I think what we're going to end up doing until we decide to do a motor swap, which probably isn't going to be for a while, I think we're going to go ahead and throw a nitrous bottle on here. I have a wet fogger kit from my old Nissan Frontier, which was a VG33E, so single overhead cam. And that had 100 shot of nitrous on it, which was a little big for that truck. I ended up warping my intake manifold one time. But that was really nice. So I think this car could do with a little 50 shot or something. So I think we're gonna go ahead and put the wet kit on here. We're gonna hook it up creeper style too, so nobody knows we got it in here, and we're gonna hide the tank somewhere, probably maybe underneath where the spare tire goes. So that'll be a project down the line. The reason I started talking about that was because the Frontier also had a like stage 4 center force dual friction 6-puck clutch pressure plate, and that was the only thing I could find. I went through 3 clutches before I found that one that would hold the nitrous shot. So the clutch pedal right now in this car is a little spongy, so we'll try bleeding it, but probably in the springtime we're gonna have to go ahead and probably replace the slave and the master, and we're gonna have to replace the slave and the master and when we do the clutch. So, but in the next couple days we'll probably try to bleed it, because I mean, before it starts engaging I can move this pedal a good 2 inches before it even touches any kind of pressure. So we're definitely going to need to at least bleed it. I am happy to say all of my lights went off. The lights we had on the dash in a previous video, all of those lights went off. So the only light that's on now is the windshield wiper fluid light, which we don't even have a windshield wiper fluid container on this car. It was missing when I got it. So yeah, that's expected. I don't know what normal oil pressure in this car is supposed to be, but right now it looks like it's running. It used to be at around 30, and right now it's saying 20. So, and I don't seem to be getting much movement when we accelerate. Once we get down here to this lower road, I'm going to go ahead and let it rev up a little bit and see if I can get some more oil pressure, and then at least I know the gauge is functioning properly. But obviously this car is about 26 years old, so I'm not surprised that things aren't working. If we didn't have oil pressure, this motor would be fried by now. So I know we have oil pressure. Normal cruising, the oil pressure is around 20 pounds. Right there, the red line, it went up to about 30 pounds. So I think that's a little low. I don't know what the stock oil pressure in this car is supposed to be, but other cars I drive are usually around 50 or 60 at high. So we might be a little low on oil pressure. Either that or that just the gauge or the sender's not working properly. We'll have to get an actual oil gauge and hook it up and see.
I'm gonna go ahead and check underneath and make sure nothing's leaking, checking the engine bay, make sure everything looks all right, and we'll be back.
It's like 32 degrees outside, and I got the T-tops off just because it's fun. See if I can find a good spot to stick you. All right, well, she can take the abuse. This might be our new drift car. The 240 never really was a drift car to begin with. It was kind of more of a drag car. This might be our drift car. Well, that was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that little misfit. When we get our new rims and get them balanced up and get a little bit more work done, we will be tearing it up. See you guys later.